Hello, beautiful people. I hope everybody's doing well. This is Toni Ferrarie from the Breathing Room. I am here today to lead you in some gentle stretching and a little bit of meditation at the end. So before we get started, I wanted to, just help you sort of come to grips with rounding up some props with what we have available at our homes. So I don't know if everybody has blocks at home, but there is things you can use. For instance, you can stack a couple books, or if you do have a block, by all means, incorporate that and, pull that guy out of the closet and blow off the dust. And we can definitely use, the props we have at home that we keep in case of an emergency and we can't make it to the studio. So I think this, this is a great time to pull that out when you want to take this online class. The other thing that can be done is, we all have blankets at home. Those blankets that people give us as gifts or things like that we use as throws on the couches can be folded just like our studio blankets, and then you can round it out even a little bit more, make it higher, so it's getting a little height and some firmness to it. If you want it even higher, take a second one, fold that, and of course, once we sit on it, the weight of our bodies will mash it down a little bit more and will create more of a solid surface. And, allow us to get those hips up the way we want those hips up so we can get a nice straight spine. So, find a couple blankets around the house. By all means, have those handy. And then we have bolsters. Another popular studio prop is our bolsters. Most of us probably don't have a bolster at home, so what you can use in place of a bolster, again, blankets. Take 2 or 3 blankets, get them up to the height of what a bolster would be, and use that in place of your bolster. Or you can go to your sofa or a chair where they have back pillows on them, and you can grab some of those back pillows, or if you have throw pillows that you use on your furniture or in your bedrooms, grab some of those. But what you want from a bolster is you want a little bit of height, and you want it to be solid. So like a bed pillow is going to be a little bit too squishy, so you want to look more for furniture type pillows, or like I said, most simple is probably to take a stack of blankets. If you don't have a lot of throws at your house, you can also use beach towels in place of the blankets, and several beach towels can make you, can accommodate building up this bolster. And I like to use straps in my practice. This is our studio strap here. It's solid and durable. So what can you use instead of a strap? Some of us might have straps at home, but what you could use would be perhaps the belt from your bathrobe. Would have that, that solid fabric, and you could just pull it off your bathrobe, or someone in your house who doesn't use their bathrobe and, hopefully won't need it while you're doing your yoga practice. Or you can use a tie. Raid the closet, find a tie that's not being used, and ties make fantastic straps. So having said that, I think that I'm gonna let you run about now and find some props. So find something that you can place your hips upon that will elevate your hips. When we elevate our hips, we're able to sit up nice and straight. And sometimes when our hips are on the ground level with, our legs, we get a little bit of rounding in the back, or it's not comfortable. And so we tend to accommodate by rounding out the back. So let's get something to lift and elevate our hips. Maybe find a couple blankets, like I said, a couple books, something like that, a couple beach towels. Let's find something to use for a strap. And then we probably won't use the bolster today, but if you continue to do ongoing online classes, perhaps start thinking about what can you use in your home to replace that bolster, and have these items, available to you for your practice. I don't even know if you all have mats. I think most people have a yoga mat, but if you don't have the mat, just find a place where you're not going to slip slide away on a wood floor. Some people actually practice on hard surface floors without a mat. It's starting to become a trend, I suppose, but you could do that. But if you can find even a place in your house, maybe a low pile carpet that will be able to give you some grip for your toes and your hands. And then, take your iPad or your laptop and find a way that you can watch the videos from there, from in a place in your house that, will enable you to have the space, the privacy, get some quiet time, and be able to find, some time for yourself for your practice. So put me on pause and go off and do that little assignment, and then when you're ready, I will be waiting for you. All right. Hi, everybody. Everybody's back. So today we're going to do gentle stretching, and then we're going to go into a meditation. Gentle stretching is a really great way to relax from, the day, from the different aggravations that we are all dealing with. And really, you do want to find some time to yourself every day. You want to be able to find a quiet place where you can sit and reflect, and where you can turn off the noise in your mind. And if you don't know what I mean by the noise in your mind, it's the constant chatter that goes on while we're thinking, and kind of takes over our thought processes. So mindfulness and meditation are used to quiet the mind. They're used they're practices that we work on so that we can find some quiet in the mind. So the way I like to sort of describe it is, for the people who don't practice mindfulness or meditation a lot, is sort of think about driving down the road in your car, and as you're gazing about, you say, oh, the trees are awfully green today. Look, the leaves are falling off the trees. Oh, look at that dog running across the street. It's verbalizing the things that are going on in your mind, or it might even be telling yourself stories. For instance, I don't know why Aunt Maggie was so mad at me at the Thanksgiving table this year. She seems to be really mad at me. I don't know what I did, but she left the house and she didn't say goodbye. And this story grows and grows and grows in our minds and creates this ongoing dialogue that's probably 99.99% inaccurate, because, we like, for some reason, to create drama for ourselves. So, at the end of the week, the phone rings and it's Aunt Maggie, and she's like, oh my gosh, I forgot to say goodbye to you at Thanksgiving. I've been trying to call, but I got so wrapped up in work. And you've already called all your best friends. You've talked to your significant other about this, and it's just been, really taking over your whole life, because your mind has made up a story. So that's what I mean by the chat in our head, that chatter, that constant talking. And what we want to do, especially in very stressful times, is be able to turn off the chatter. all right? We want to be able to find ways, if you're a beginner, if you can even get 2 minutes of peace in your mind and shut it off, and then as you work through your practice, it's a practice like anything else, and it's not easy. So people think, oh gosh, you're just sitting on a pillow, and how can this not be easy? Because our mind really does take over easily when we are not engaged with, being in charge of that, of shutting it off. So what we're going to do today is we're going to open class, we're going to center, which is basically coming to our mats or coming to our practice space. Excuse me. Coming to our practice space or our mats, finding a way to, cut out the chatter, finding our breath. And I will teach you how to find your breath if you don't know, and that's okay. If you don't know, that's perfectly fine. Like anything else, you have to learn it. Especially if meditation and mindfulness is not something you do on a day-to-day basis. Couple points I'd like to make. Do this practice and don't judge yourself. The minute you start saying, oh my gosh, I'm finding quiet in my mind, you've lost the quiet in your mind. So, or if a thought comes in and you're like, can't you just control these thoughts? Why is this so difficult for you? Then you brought in judgment. So we don't really want to bring in judgment with this practice, because there's no way you can really do it wrong. There's no right way or wrong way. So don't, think, oh, I'm doing this wrong, because you're not doing it wrong. You're doing what is right for you in this moment. And that's all any of us can ask of ourselves, right? So love is huge. Love yourself. Love the fact that you're sitting in front of a screen of some sort, listening to me talk about meditation and mindfulness, because you know what? You love yourself enough to do this. So you should be very proud of yourself. So let's sit up nice and tall. Like I said, maybe a couple books to sort of get this height, maybe some folded blankets. And let's sit up nice and tall. Notice my hips. My hips are almost, my pelvis is kind of twisted up so that I'm sitting nice and straight, a nice straight spine, shoulders relaxed, the back is dropped down, we're not squishing up like this, everything's relaxed down, roll it back, roll it out, ease out that tension, and then let them fall. The knees are at an angle. The knees are coming down towards the floor. The feet are crossed. I have my feet laying flat on the floor. You can, bring your feet up into a cross-legged position or put them flat on the floor like I have them. If at all there's any discomfort here, take these blankets you put aside for yourself and prop those knees up a little bit. Take the pressure off the hips. Working through, finding the space that makes sense for you will make your practice successful. If you're sitting here and you're uncomfortable, if the room is too hot, the room is too cold, your legs aren't comfortable, you just aren't comfortable, it's going to be really hard to stay in your practice. You can take your hands, you can face them down on the knees today. This is how we will start. I'll make more videos on meditation and, finding that space in ourselves to be able to have some quiet time. But for now, today, let's just come to the seated position, raised hips, make sure your legs are comfortable, tuck blankets in, whatever, and bring your palms face down on your knees. Take a big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Great job. Now, let's think about our eyes. Maybe you're more comfortable with your eyes closed. Don't worry, I'll keep talking you through this. You don't necessarily need to see me. I'm not going to move, and if I do anything, I'll give you a heads up. But for now, you can close your eyes and trust the fact that I will keep talking and I will talk you through this. The other option is to bring the gaze maybe 3 or 4 feet in front of your mat, gently just lowering the gaze just a very slight bit, and soften the gaze. So whatever you're looking at is sort of out of focus. A lot of times this is more comfortable and feels safer than closing the eyes, especially if you want to peek up at me. This might be an easier way, but again, rest assured, I won't stop talking. So let's try looking with that chin level to the floor, hands resting on the knees, eyes are closed. Breathe in and out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. Keep doing that, in and out through the nose. Finding our breath means feeling it, listening to it, hearing it come in, and using all those senses on the exhale as well. Now, as you breathe in, notice the air is cool and refreshing. On the exhale, notice the air is warm and humidified. Breathing in, cool air, breathing out, warm air. Feeling the breath around the tip of the nose, in and out. Now picture you're drawing this breath from about 12 inches from in front of your nose. So breathe in from there, and then let it out. Trying to breathe in and breathe out through the nose. In through the nose, out through the nose. Now, from this, we're going to add in a count. Maybe count to 4 on the inhale. 4 on the exhale. 4 on the inhale. 4 on the exhale. Now maybe let's try taking that number up to 5 or 6. Do this on your own. You might be higher, you might be 7, you might be 10. Lengthen the breath. Smooth it out. Make it yours. It's your breath. Do this practice to meet your needs where you are today without judgment. Breathing in. Breathing out. Now keep on following that breath that you've created, and bring your attention down to the belly. On the inhale, feel that belly expand like a balloon. On the exhale, feel it contracting and coming in and closing in. Inhale through the belly. Exhale through the belly. Inhale through the belly. Exhale through the belly. Now inhale through the nose. Fill up the belly. Exhale through the belly. Now inhale to the belly. Now move the breath up to the chest. Exhale, chest, belly. Inhale, belly, chest. Exhale, chest, belly. Now inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Inhale. Fill that belly up. Fill it up till it cannot take in any more air. Move it to the ribs. Keep breathing into the chest. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Chest, ribs, belly. Keep exhaling out of that belly, pushing the belly in, pushing it in until you can feel the belly kissing your spine. And then breathe in, belly, ribs, chest. Keep breathing into that chest. Fill it up. Keep filling it up until you cannot fill it up anymore. And then take one more puff in and exhale. Chest, ribs, belly. Now keep following that lovely 3-part breath on your own. Feeling the air coming in and out through the nose, and feeling how that breath is affecting the whole torso of your body. The front of the body filling up and feeling the sensations all the way through your spine, through your lungs, through your chest, up the neck and out the nose, in and down through the throat, and down and through the body. Keep following this on your own for a few more cycles. At the bottom, on the exhale of your next round, come back to your regular breath and just feel it. Just be here, be present. Now let's flutter our eyes open and make a great big smile. And let's take those shoulders, roll them up to the ears, roll them down. Big breath into the nose, out the mouth. In through the nose, and yawn. In through the nose, out through the nose. This next time we exhale, we're going to do something called lion's breath. And with lion's breath, we open our mouth wide and we paying our tongues out of the mouth, getting all the old stale air out. So we're going to keep wanting to exhale until we cannot exhale anymore, and feel free to make noise. So here we go. Inhale through the nose, lion's breath. One more time. Inhale through the nose, lion's breath. Roll those shoulders up, roll them down, bring the hands to the knees, and let's just gently turn our neck to look over the shoulder, looking over our left shoulder, and finding that breath that we found before. Breathing in and out through the nose, evenly, deeply. And then following the breath on the exhale, roll the chin down, around, and across the chest, looking over the opposite shoulder, breathing in and breathing out. Maybe even creating sound with the breath by constricting the back of the throat, called ujjayi breath. On the exhale, roll the chin down and around and back over the other shoulder, being very loving, very gentle with our neck. Breathing in and breathing out. Connecting the breath with the movement, yoking. The word yoga means to yoke. So in this case, yoking the breath with the movement. Now let's look back over the other shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. Big inhale here. Roll the chin down and just let the head use gravity, looking down towards the toes, taking a couple breaths here. And on the next exhale, engaging the muscles of the back and the spine, bringing that chin down closer to the chest, stretching out the back, the spine, the neck, and then lifting the chin up, 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 all the way. Keep going, slowly, steadily, lifting the chin all the way up and actively pulling the chin up towards the ceiling, feeling a lovely front stretch down the whole front of the body. And breathing, don't forget to breathe in and out. So let's bring the chin back to center. Now let's think about our legs a second. Things might be starting to fall asleep here. So if we need to maybe change our leg arrangements a little bit, let's take a second to do that here. No judgment again. There's no pressure. There's no pressure or judgment in yoga at all. So this mat is your practice. So remember, if you're feeling any discomfort, by all means, make any arrangements with your bodies so that you can stay in your practice and you can be comfortable while you're doing it. So let's take those arms, bring them behind us. When our hands touch, interlace those fingers. Sit up nice and straight again, rolling that pelvis bone, straightening up the spine like you have an invisible thread from your head to the ceiling. Feel those shoulders go back, the shoulder blades are touching, the chest is popping out. Lift the hands off the back, nice stretch, look up, stretching the front of the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Come back to the neutral spine. Release that bind behind you and shake it out. Maybe see if your bracelets will fly off and hit the TV, but shake that out. Oh, this feels good, right? Now bring those shoulders down, bring the hands down, wrap them around, interlace the fingers in front now, pull the backs of the hands towards me, round out the back, almost arching it. Look down between your hands, actively pulling the backs of the hands towards me and stretching out that back of the body. Breathing in and breathing out. Bring the spine back to neutral, bring the hands down, interlace the fingers again, lift them off the spine, sit nice and straight. This time arch the back, look up, seated cow, looking up. The back is rolled in. The tummy and the chest are pushed out. The shoulder blades are touching in back. However, they're relaxed. There's no pressure in the neck, no pressure in the shoulders. And you're breathing. Release that grip behind you. Let the arms fall. Shake them out. And let's take one more stretch towards the front, bringing those hands together. Round out that spine, seated cat. Look down at the belly button. Really stretching out here. Breathing in and breathing out. Beautiful job. Now bring the hands down. Roll the shoulders back. Keep going. Bring the arms in. Come on. Move. Get big circles going. Feel the crack-a-lack-a poppin'. It's great stuff. We have all had the opportunity to get to know each other in our houses. A lot of time to spend family time and friend time with whoever you live with. Roll them forward. So let's roll it out now. Seriously. We need to stretch, we need to move, we need to practice mindfulness. It's a very stressful time in our lives right now. Okay, come to stillness. Great. Shoulders up to the ears, shoulders down, big deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the nose, in through the nose, lion's breath. Beautiful job. So let's get our strap or whatever we may be using for a strap. And let's take the strap out in front of us, open it up about 90 degrees, whatever feels right for you. And we're gonna just roll out our shoulders a little bit, getting some movement into the shoulder rotators, working that out, getting the fluids going again. What I want you to do right now is just roll these out. There should be no tension, no strain in the neck or the shoulders. Everything should be chill up there. So take don't be like this, don't bring those shoulders up. Bring them, relax them, roll them back. And then take the hands up. Act like you're trying to rip this strap apart. And then just bring the hands up 90 degrees, back to center, the other way, back to center, the other way, back to center, and one more time this way, and back to center. Now we're going to take the arms back and widen the hands on the straps as wide as you need to be able to make this rotation back and forth, over and back. If you feel at all uncomfortable doing this, you can drop the strap if you'd like. But let's try just to open those arms as much as we can to use the strap to benefit more with this practice. And we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Now, any pain you're feeling, you need to come out of this. Remember, this is your practice and we take it slow. No pressure. It's called working to our edge, and everybody's edge is different. So right now we're working to our edge. Bring those hands up again. Feel that nice stretch, really, really getting into the shoulders and the arms. Actively engaging the arms, leaving a little bit of a micro bend. We don't want to lock up the elbows. Go back and forth a couple times again. Great. Now come back to center, go back, and go forward, and back, and then forward. Bring the strap down, put it aside, and shake it out. Oh yeah, shake it out. Now take your arms, loosen them up, come to stillness, and then I want you to picture that you have a paintbrush on the tip of your nose, and we're gonna start making little circles, and we're gonna make those circles bigger. Okay, so we're gonna just make little circles, gently and slowly, using the breath, remembering to breathe. Make your circle bigger with your paintbrush. What color is your paint? My paint is pink today. Pink is the color of love. I like to have pink paint. I also like purple paint on my paintbrush. And sometimes I use indigo. Today I'm using pink. So at the end of that round, come back to center, bring your chin up even with the floor, get your bearings. You might have gotten a little dizzy doing that. And so this time we're going to do this again, but the opposite direction. So this is kind of hard to do. Your body will want to go the same direction it did, so try and remember the way you just went and go the opposite. So let's start making circles. And if you can't remember, it's not the end of the world. It would just be preferable to do the same on one side of the body as the other, but you won't break, I promise you. Make those circles bigger and bigger with your paintbrush. Remember to breathe. Oh no, I'm crack-a-lacking in that neck. We were taught in gym to whip our heads around, but it's much better to go slower and mindfully when we're working with the neck, especially. The neck and the spine need a lot of love. So at the end of this next circle, bring your head down, then lift that chin up, get your bearings, get your equilibrium back, make a great big smile. And then let's lift up and off of whatever we're sitting on and remove that item from the prop. We call them props at the studio, from the mat. And then let's come to our hands and knees. Getting our hands to be super wide on the mat, making a nice big area to rest our wrists on. Our wrists are under our elbows, or under our shoulders, and everything's in a nice straight line. The knees are under the hips. Look between your knees, which should be in the shape of an 11, and see if you can see your toes, and if you can, scooch them over a little bit so that your shins are nice and straight. Bring your gaze to the top of your mat, and this is called tabletop. All right, so from tabletop, we're going to do cats and cows. So we're going to inhale, bring our bellies down, arch our back, chests are open, and we're looking up. And then exhale, arch and round that back up, look down at the belly button. exhaling there, and then inhaling, cow, exhale, cat. Sigh it out if you want. Breathe it in deeply, sigh it out. Breathe it in, sigh it out. One more time, in and out. Now let's bring that spine back to neutral, looking up at the top of our mat. And just take those hips, roll them to one side, all the way back. Get the arms straight all the way around. And then roll over the tops of your wrists. Feeling movement in the wrists as we bring that hip down and around and up and over the wrists. We're all home. We're all working on our computers. We're all on our cell phones. Some of us may be working a lot with the clicker. I don't know. But whatever we're doing a lot of stuff with our wrists. So we're going to get them a little workout right now. We're going to stretch them. We're going to get into the joints and in to the bones of those wrists, rolling out while benefiting from rolling out our hips and rolling through our knees. Now, speaking of our knees, coming to stillness, back to neutral, and then go the other way. Start the other side, roll back, come around, and up and over the wrists. If you're doing this and you're uncomfortable in your knees, take one of those blankets or one of those beach towels and place it under the knees, and this will take the strain off the knees. The other option would be, if this is really a lot on your wrist, you can put that blanket there too. You just don't want to do anything that's going to cause your hands to slide. So just making sure you have a nice grip in whatever you decide to do with those wrists. But we do want to roll them out. So by putting cushioning there, you're going to be getting the benefit of this nice stretch for our wrists. So let's come to stillness, neutral spine. Take a big deep breath and then sit the tailbone back on the heels. And take the hands out, really reaching out, spider hands, walking forward, closed knee, child's pose, and stretch out through the arms to the back. Maybe your forehead doesn't even come to the mat. If this is too much on the neck, you can most definitely drop the head down. But stretching here, we're not relaxing right now. We're stretching out through the back, through the arms. And breathing. Don't forget you found that beautiful breath. Let's keep it. Now take that right arm, walk it over. Take the left arm over the top of the right arm and getting a nice side body stretch. And breathing in and breathing out. Walking the hands back to center, get those spider hands up, big stretch here. And then walk the left hand over. Take the right hand on top, nice side body stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. Walking the hands back to center. Coming back up into tabletop. And then we're going to come to standing from here. So what we're going to do is tuck the toes under. Push the knees up, bringing your hips up, pushing back into a down dog, pedal it out a little bit, get a nice stretch here, Just feeling that stretch down the body. And then walk your legs up towards your hands. And then just fall forward into a forward fold. You may need to take one of the blocks or one of the books, whatever you're using, to bring the floor up to you and help lengthen that stretch. Make sure the knees are nice and soft. The head is just dangling loose. The arms are loose, nothing in the shoulders and neck. Dangling here. And then on the exhale, let's just roll gently up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Coming all the way up, head comes last. Bring the shoulders back. Drop the hands down, open them up to receive the energy in the room, the energy of the universe. Breathing in, breathing out. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Take those arms up. Bring them all the way up into a prayer. Bring the prayer down to your heart center. Back to Tadasana, mountain pose. Bring those hands back up. Interlace the fingers. Use your pointy fingers. Interlace the other fingers. And you're almost making, I call it Charlie's Angels. You're making like a gun. And then bring them back up. Arms are next to the ears. Pop that left hip out and then take a nice side stretch here. Breathing in and breathing out. Thinking about that top shoulder. If it's coming down, gently push it back. And then coming back up. Couple breaths here. And then bending to the other side. Bring that top shoulder back. Breathing in and breathing out. Coming back up. Really reaching up with those arms. Look up at those fingers and take a little baby back bend. Pushing the hips forward. Looking back. Coming back up. Big deep breath here and going back to the other side again. Breathing in and breathing out. Push that top shoulder. You feel like you start to sink, so push it back. And then coming back up. And then the other side. Push the shoulder up. Breathing in and breathing out. Then coming back up. Take another baby back bend. Coming back up. Bringing the hands down to heart center. Hands next to the hips. And shake it out. Shake it all out. Get it nice and loose. So we're going to do a little joint rotation here. So we're going to keep our left leg nice and grounded, coming up with our right toe. And just rolling out the heel, the leg, the toes, getting the blood flowing, the pranayama going through our body, and breathing in and breathing out. And then coming to stillness, the other side. You might hear some cracking, some popping. You know, it's hard to keep moving and to stay mindful when we're under a lot of stress at home. Perhaps you've been doing homework with children. Perhaps you have a lot of responsibilities for cooking meals. Bring the hands to the knees, roll them out. Homework and meals and keeping the house clean and keeping everybody where they need to be right now. And the other way, the worry of what's yet to come. What we don't know is scary, and that creates fear in us. So we need to work the fear out, the stress out. Come to stillness, stand up. Hands go to the hips. Roll the hips. One way. So we're working through these hip joints right now. We hold a lot of stress and anxiety in our joints, and especially the hips, the shoulders, the neck, the back. Roll it out the other way. Beautiful job. Coming to stillness. Focusing on the left shoulder now, rolling it back. Not forgetting to breathe. Breathing as we move creates mindfulness, where we can be in our practice and really be focusing just on the movement of our body, on bringing that lovely prana, that life energy, that life force into our bodies, the other side. Roll it back. The circulation, the energy moving through the body, the breath, the life force. By moving our forward, by moving our bodies, we're opening up the path for the prana to move through the body. Coming to stillness, 2 shoulders back, both of them together. Keeping the knees nice and soft, not locking them. Everything else is relaxed, just rolling these shoulders and rolling forward. And breathing in and breathing out. Coming to stillness. Take your arms up and then bring the elbows together, interlace the fingers, and then roll the wrists around, working again into those wrists. Yeah, you might find some crack-a-lackin' going on here. And that's great. Opening up those joints and those muscles and ligaments. Coming to stillness and then going the other way, which you might have to think about. The brain doesn't like to do that. And rolling them the other way. Beautiful job. Now bring the hands down, coming back into Tadasana, mountain pose, and just feeling what that feels like to get the prana going through your body, how great it feels to move, how fantastic it is to breathe. Big deep breath in and out through the mouth. Big deep breath in, out through the nose. Big deep breath in, lion's breath. Now let's bring those hands up and bring them down. As we bring them down, we forward fold. And let's just hang a second. Maybe taking the elbows in the palms of our hands and rotating a little bit, hanging. Maybe just dangling, whatever your body wants to do here. Just relax, let gravity pull the top body down. Breathing in and breathing out. And then bending your knees as much as you need to, bringing the palms of the hands to the floor and stepping back into plank. And you might need to be on your knees here, or you might be fine with your knees up. And let's just breathe here, looking forward towards the top of the mat, taking a couple breaths here, engaging the core, engaging the glutes, breathing in and breathing out. 3 more breaths. 1, 2, and then 3. Bring the knees to the mat, untuck those toes, and then just push with the hands back And take a nice child's pose, but this time relax the forehead to the floor. If you want to keep your knees together, that's fine. Otherwise, you can open the knees, just making sure the toes are touching behind you. Then push that seat back towards the heels, rolling the chest towards the floor, rolling the forehead towards the floor, and relaxing here a moment in child's pose. Find that breath again. If your mind has drifted, that's okay. Bring it back without judgment. That's perfectly fine. Now lift your head up, use your hands, walk forward, and then let's tuck our knees under and come to a seat, and then bring our legs towards the front of our mat. And using our hands up like this, we're going to use this for balance. That's why we put our hands here. And we've engaged that core in that plank. We're going to find that core again. Your shoulders are nice and relaxed. Your neck is relaxed. And then just roll back very, very slowly, all the way back. Taking your time, very slowly. Engage the core on the way down. See how long you can wait until you get all the way down. And then when you get all the way down, take the hands up over the head, stretching up with the fingertips, and your toes are pointing down towards the back of the room. Your arms are pulling up towards the front of the room, really stretching here. Stretch, 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 really actively stretching. And then I want you to let it all fall to the floor with a thump. Relax. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose. Breathe out through the nose. Breathe in through the nose. Lion's breath. Now let's take the hands down by our side. Let's take our knees up. And then bring this part of our back that has this natural curvature. Let's push the spine down into the floor, rolling the tailbone up, and then bringing your knees up, flattening the back on the floor, and just hold this a second, letting your back relax, letting the floor ground you. Releasing all the tension into Mother Earth. And then take those knees and make circles in one direction and make circles in the other direction. And then coming to stillness, hug the knees in, bring the chin up, hug everything together, hug, 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 and then let it all go out, opening up everything. The toes are pointed, the fingertips are pointed, and you're smiling. Now, bring the arms down into airplane wings out of your body. And then bring your knees up, feet are on the floor, and then just make windshield wipers with your knees, like you're windshield wipering the windshield of a car with your legs. Let those knees drop to the right side and just gaze over the opposite hand, getting a little bit of a spinal twist here, twisting into it. You can stay here, or if it would be more in your practice, bring that knee up and place the opposite hand over the knee, deepening that twist. The important thing here is both shoulders are engaged with the floor, so you're not floating those shoulders. The top of the body's relaxed, no tension in the neck or shoulders, and of course you're breathing. Release the grip if you have one. Take that hand back out into an airplane wing. Bring those knees back up. Get your neutral spine back. And then windshield wiper them again. Drop the knees to the other side. The gaze goes over the opposite hand. And again, bringing that leg up if you want and using the opposite hand to deepen the stretch. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling the breath in the nose and down the throat as it fills up the belly and empties out of the belly. Now bring those knees back up. Get your nice neutral spine again. Take the legs down, relax them straight. Open the legs the width of the mat. Let the toes drop out. We're going to go into Savasana now, which is corpse pose, which is the essence of yoga practice, I believe. What we all strive for is the meditation at the end, and we meditate, generally speaking, in corpse pose, which is a flatness of our whole body against the floor. Now we're going to stay here for a good amount of time. So I don't know how warm your homes are or where you're practicing from, but you may want to take a blanket to cover yourselves, or use a prop maybe to put underneath your knees so that your back can be more flat against the floor. You could do something like this, taking the blanket over you, of course, and laying back. Or if that does not suit you, you can take the bolster, and you can also place the bolster or the pillow, whatever you're using, at the top of the mat, and then you can do a heart opener. It's a restorative yoga. It's a restorative heart opener. So you place that block right there, right next to those hips. Hold the block, roll down, roll back. Maybe have a blanket ready to use as a pillow. Roll back, place your pillow, open the leg. I'll let you see my legs. The legs should be open, toes are dropped out, so the legs are nice and open. The heart is open. The palms are up. The shoulders and the neck are relaxed. This is really fantastic for back support, for getting a little bit of a back bend in and relieving the pressure from the back. So you pick, you choose what you need right now for your practice. Once you are there, I'm going to give you a couple seconds to get settled while I get settled as well. So for me, I'm going to be seated. And what we're going to do is, once you get settled in your Savasana, I want you to find that breath again. Feel it coming in through the nose out the nose. You can pause me, and you can stay here as long as you want. I'll stay here a few minutes with you. You will have thoughts come and thoughts go, and that's okay. Acknowledge those thoughts without judgment and let them float away like ripples on a pond, gently floating away. Perhaps promising to come back to them later. Perhaps being okay with letting them just go. No judgment, no rules. Maybe once you get to your breath, you find some tension somewhere in your body. Maybe something is being held, something is tight. So let's squeeze those toes, squeeze them, and then release them. Let's squeeze the muscles in our legs, and then release. Squeeze the muscles in the pelvis, and release. Squeeze the muscles in the abs, around the torso, the core. Squeeze them tight and then release. Squeeze the muscles in the chest, hugging that beautiful heart, and release. Squeeze your hands into tight fists and then open them as far as they'll go, and then make tight fists again, and then relax the hands. Squeeze the arms and release. Squeeze the shoulders and the neck and release. Squeeze the muscles in the face and release. Remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your eyeballs in their sockets. Now bring your gaze, your internal focus, to the place right behind the brow bone, in the center of the eyes, about an inch back, and focus on your third eye, relaxing your gaze there, and relax into your breathing. So let's come back now to our breath. Breathing in and breathing out through the nose. Perhaps finding movement in the fingers and the toes, gently moving them, and gently rocking the ankles and the wrists back and forth, and maybe moving the head from side to side. Finding movement, finding our breath, coming back to this room, coming back to your practice space, back to your mat, breathing in and breathing out. Bringing the knees up to the chest, hugging them in, and then rolling to your right side, resting your head on your arm like a pillow, and taking a couple moments here for yourself. Every day, try to wake up with gratitude. Coming to seated, using your hand to lift yourself up. Gratitude for your life. Gratitude for your body. Gratitude for your family and for your friends. And of course, gratitude for the opportunity to be of service. And for these things, we say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Coming to a nice straight seat, hands are on our knees. Roll the shoulders up to the ears and down. Big deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to do that again, but this time on the exhale, we will chant the universal sound of Om together, and Om is just the sound of the earth, of the universe. It's just what we hear in silence. So big deep breath in. Om. Hands come to heart center. Our thumbs are to our heart chakra. I honor the love and the light that lives within you because it lives within me as well. Let's bring those thumbs up to the center of our foreheads, to that third eye chakra, and bending from the hips, bowing to the student and the teacher. Namaste. And namaste means I honor you. Bring the hands down. Thank you for practicing with me today. Go out there in the world, be happy, show love, and show kindness.